The fate of the Boeing Starliner crew still remains uncertain as NASA and Boeing continue to work toward a plan to get the two astronauts home more than 2 months after they docked at the International Space Station. NASA astronauts Barry Butch Wilmore and Sunita Suni Williams were only meant to spend little more than a week in orbit in June before riding the Starliner capsule down to Earth in a parachute-assisted landing. But as the weeks tick by, officials with NASA and Boeing still have not figured out the best way to get the pair back on the ground. In a Wednesday news conference, NASA officials said mission operators continue to evaluate whether the Starliner is capable of safely making the return trip. The U.S. Space Agency is also still considering having Wilmore and Williams instead return to Earth aboard a SpaceX Dragon capsule, which would extend their stay at the space station into February. That determination is expected to come toward the end of August, NASA officials said. It's a fairly major discussion to decide about whether or not we're going to have crew on board for a Starliner return, Ken Bowersox, NASA's Associate Administrator for Space Operations, said Wednesday. We've got time available before we bring Starliner home, and we want to use that time wisely. The Starliner capsule, built with the intention of running crews and deliveries regularly to the station on behalf of NASA, is still the preferred transportation for Wilmore and Williams when they eventually make the return journey. However, NASA and Boeing have contingency plans in place to ensure the veteran astronauts, both of whom have been to space twice before, get home one way or another. The beleaguered Starliner was besieged with troubles even before it finally managed to launch June 5 from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida on its inaugural crewed test flight. Once Wilmore and Williams made it to the International Space Station the next day, engineers discovered a slew of helium leaks and problems with the craft's propulsion system that have hampered Starliner's return to Earth.